My name is AJ Stanley, and I'm a junior from Huntsville, Alabama, and I'm majoring in finance. My family has a construction company, so being around that environment, I've always known that I wanted to be in business in some form or fashion. As I got into middle school and high school, my dad and my uncle would let me go with them to their meetings and join with them on lunch meetings with equipment suppliers. And around my senior year of high school, I just got really curious about the business side of our construction company. I just remember wondering, how is it that we were able to make everything possible, from paying employees to purchasing and investing in equipment, to managing an office, to doing all of these projects across the North Alabama area. That just really intrigued me, and so I knew that finance would take me anywhere I wanted to go, so I just kind of took that and ran with it. I've actually been fortunate enough to intern twice already, and then I'll be interning again in this summer. The first time was through family. The second time was with Regions Securities. It's a division of Regions Bank. It's their corporate and investment bank. For that process, I landed that one just through networking and staying in contact with some of the key people in that area. Always asking them for advice, reading up on what's happening in the markets. I think they kind of saw that interest, and they reached out to me in about October and asked if I wanted to intern with them after just one interview. And I was honestly quite shocked, because I was, a sophomore. And it's like, how did a sophomore get a junior level internship? And I was like, we're just gonna take it and run with it, and we're just gonna enjoy this experience. And to be honest, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life, just being not only being in a corporate environment, but also being able to visualize yourself in the working world as a student, I think was one of the greatest benefits out of it. And also just getting that work experience to be able to put on your resume. Another cool thing was being able to contribute firsthand to the team. So whether it be through a screening memo, or finding comparables on companies for a deal, or just sitting in on meetings, the breadth of experience that I was able to get that summer was really awesome. This summer, I'll be with Ernst & Young in Charlotte doing advisory for financial services companies. So everyone from insurance companies, to banks, to asset and wealth management firms, to private equity and hedge funds. We'll be doing consulting for them more on the business side, so not specifically transactions and how to get clients to buy stuff, but more so on their processes. Maybe they want to build out a new infrastructure, or they're having problems with a business model. Ernst & Young on the advisory side would come in and help consult them on that, and then provide and then even implement those new solutions to that company, and work with them through that process and provide that continuous support. That was through the career fair, and then reaching out to people my freshman year actually. I was searching on the internet for internships for freshman students, even though I knew that the hit rate probably wouldn't be that big. And then an ad popped up for EY's launch internship, which is theirs for sophomores mainly, and you get to do a rotational program through all of their service lines, from audit to advisory to tax, etc. And I reached out to a recruiter and said, hey, I'm interested in learning more. And I found out that she was actually recruiting accounting students at Meet the Firms. And so we set up a meeting in the Starbucks here in Louder, and we kind of talked. And I got invited to a conference there for freshman and sophomore students. And I just really stayed in contact with them over the course of my freshman and sophomore year. And they invited me to another leadership program the summer after I got out of my sophomore year. And then after that, they extended me an offer for my junior year. Mock interviewing and resume review, especially as a freshman, it's never too early to start that, just getting your feet wet with how to adequately prepare and perform in one of those situations, and then starting to craft a resume, whether it be from getting student involvement to finding a job on campus or an internship. I think those are definitely good steps to start to take, whether you're a freshman or a sophomore or junior or senior. Just start early, start now is my thing. And then on the flip side of that, just talking with career coaches and building relationships. And I think it's at the point now where if I needed to, I would be able to walk into any one of their offices and ask for advice, and they'd be willing to help.